Hello guys, welcome to English Tour. Think reading in IELTS is just flipping through a few pages? Nope. It's a race against time with traps waiting to catch you if you are not careful. In this video, we are going to explore the IELTS reading section step by step. You will learn about the test structure, the types of questions, common challenges, and the best ways to prepare so you can read smarter, not harder. Okay? Let's get started. Alright, let's dive into the IELTS reading test. This section is designed to check how well you can understand and interpret written English. Not just the simple stuff, but also more complex ideas. Here's the breakdown. You have 1 hour to answer 40 questions in 3 parts. Pretty straightforward, yes? But here's the twist. There are actually 2 versions of the reading test, the academic reading test and the general training reading test. The passages start out fairly manageable, but they get harder and harder as you go. By the final part, you will be dealing with longer, more detailed text full of structured arguments and ideas. In other words, it's like running a reading marathon. The further you go, the tougher it gets. Okay, great. Now let's start with the academic reading test. Each of the 3 parts gives you 1 long text, and these are taken from real sources like books, newspapers, magazines, and journals. Now, don't panic. These texts are chosen because they are of general interest, not because you are expected to be a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon. They are written for a non-specialist audience, so anyone can follow along. Sometimes the texts also come with non-verbal material, things like diagrams, illustrations, or graphs. Think of them as visual helpers, not enemies. And if a passage includes some tricky or technical words, IELTS has your back. They will provide a glossary at the end to explain what those special terms mean. So, in short, the academic reading test gives you serious real-world texts, but they are designed to be challenging without being impossible. Okay, good. Now let's talk about the general training reading test. The texts here are more practical, things you would actually run into while living in an English-speaking country. Here's the breakdown. Section 1. You will see 2 or 3 short texts about everyday life. Think hotel rules, an evacuation procedure, a series of advertisements, or even a course outline. Basically, the kind of stuff you would skim in real life. Section 2. This one gets a little more professional. You will read 2 short factual texts related to work. For example, a job description, staff training materials, or company policies like disciplinary procedures. And the last one, section 3. Here's the big one, a longer, more complex text, usually of general interest. This could come from books, newspapers, magazines, company brochures, or handbooks. So, while academic reading tests your ability to handle academic style writing, general training reading is about survival skills in real world English. From reading signs and ads to understanding workplace documents and longer texts. Okay, great. So far so good. But now let's talk about question types. The IELTS reading section features a wide range of question formats, each designed to assess specific reading skills such as skimming for the main idea, scanning for details, and interpreting meaning in context. Each reading passage typically includes 3 or 4 different question types, selected from the following list. These formats test not only comprehension but also the ability to recognize structure, identify supporting details across different parts of the text. Okay, good. Now let's talk about exam conditions and skill assessed. The IELTS reading test must be completed within 60 minutes, which includes both reading the text and answering the questions. No additional time is provided to transfer answers. Therefore, candidates are required to write their answers directly on the answer sheet as they proceed. It is strongly advised not to leave any answers blank. Since there is no penalty for incorrect responses, making an educated guess increases the chances of gaining marks. The reading test evaluates a range of essential reading skills, including the ability to skim and scan efficiently to locate key information, comprehend detailed arguments, and infer meaning from complex language, interpret the writer's opinions and attitudes within a passage, recognize organizational patterns, and understand how ideas are connected across the text. Okay, great. Now let's talk about two skills which are very important in reading tests: skimming and scanning. I will give you a short introduction here, but I will teach you completely both of them in future videos. Okay, now let me tell you about skimming. A skimming skill quickly identify main ideas and passage structure before diving into questions. It focuses on topic sentences and concluding statements, but scanning locate keywords and specific information rapidly. Train your eyes to spot dates, names, and key terms without reading every word. Okay, great. Now let's talk about marking system. The IELTS reading section consists of 40 questions with each question carrying 1 mark. The raw score out of 40 is then converted into a band score ranging from 0 to 9. The exact conversion may vary slightly between academic and general training versions. And as you can see on the screen, each number of correct answers has its own unique score. For example, if you answer between 30 and 32 questions correctly in the academic exam, you will get a score of 7. But if you answer the same number of questions correctly in the general training exam, you will get a score of 6 to 6.5. But be careful, answers will be marked incorrect if the spelling is wrong, the answer is grammatically incorrect, and the word limit is not respected. So carefully read the instructions provided for each task. These typically specify the maximum number of words or numbers permitted. For example, write 1 word and or a number, write 1 word only, or write no more than 2 words. For example, if a question says that no more than 1 word is allowed and the correct answer is volcano, but you write a volcano, your answer is incorrect. So be careful. Respect the instruction. And that's everything you need to know about the IELTS reading test. Remember, success comes from practice, timing, and paying close attention to instructions. The more you practice skimming, scanning, and understanding complex text, the more confident you will become on test day. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like, subscribe for more IELTS tips, and share it with friends who are also preparing. Together, we will make your IELTS journey smoother and more successful. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.